What's up, guys? So I was looking at this UFC Seattle card tomorrow, and I was just thinking, man, I don't like Henry Cejudo. I think he's just annoying. I don't want to see him win. I don't like him. And made me think of this video. So today I'm going to be going over my favorite, and my least favorite UFC fighter in every division. There's not really like a specific criteria. It's just some of them I like their fighting style. Some of them I think they're funny. Some of them I think they're annoying. Just no specific reason. And then first up, we got the flyweight division. My favorite, I'm going to have to go with Brandon Moreno. I think he's a class act. He's a great guy. He's funny. He seems to have a lot of personality, and I don't think anyone really hates Brandon Moreno. I feel like this one's obvious. And then my next one also is pretty obvious. Amir Albazi. This guy's a fucking bum. He's boring. There's nothing interesting about him. He just got masterclassed by my glorious king, Brandon Moreno. The only reason he's ranked at all is because of a fluke win over Kai Kara-France. And he's somehow sitting at the number 3 spot still. It makes no sense. But yeah, so next going to the bantamweight division. You're gonna have to hear me out on this one. Sean O'Malley. I fucking love Sean O'Malley. I don't care. People think he's cringe. People think he makes excuses. I don't care. He's fucking funny, dude. Hearing him make excuses, saying that he won the Marab fight, it was fucking hilarious. And I would love to see him do that after every single loss he has. I think he's a funny guy. He was a entertaining champ. He always put on great fights. So yeah, I love Sean O'Malley. And then you already know who it is. Mario Bautista, Hitler himself. This guy's a fucking bum. He got one fluke robbery win over Jose Aldo by holding him against the cage. This guy's a fucking loser. I hate his face. I hate his fucking nose. I hate him. There's nothing to like about this guy. He has no redeeming factors. And if you're a Mario Bautista fan, you're a fucking loser. I'm sorry to say it, but you are. But I don't think he has any fans, so. Next up, featherweight division. Volkanovski, cooking with Volk himself. Listen, I love Volk. If you're talking pure fighting style, I'm going with Max Holloway. And also, I didn't include Topuria in this video because he just moved up to lightweight, as we found out. But I definitely prefer Max Holloway's fighting style to Volk. But if you're talking all around, I mean, you can't really hate Volk, man. You can't hate Volk. He's always willing to step in on short notice. He doesn't make any excuses. He's a great guy. He's super nice. He's entertaining to watch. He's very skilled. He's probably the most skilled featherweight we've ever seen. He's still my greatest featherweight ever. I love Volk. Then, Bryce Mitchell. Not even just because of the recent Hitler comments. I've always hated Bryce Mitchell. I just always thought he was annoying. His personality was corny. That flat earth shit was corny. There's nothing really likable about this guy. I do like that he fucked up Chrome Gracie, but that's about it. This guy's a fucking loser. Obviously he's a UFC fighter, so good for him, I guess, but he's not likable at all. I don't know how anyone ever liked this guy. And seeing Josh Emmett flatline him was a little scary, but at the same time, it got a little smirk out of me. That's all I'm gonna say. Lightweight division. It's the boring answer, but this guy's fucking hilarious, dude. Islam Makhachev, or Makhachev, however you say it. This guy's fucking funny. He's, I don't like him saying, Ilya, you have to earn it before you come. And I don't know if that is him saying it or if it's just Ali Abdelaziz. But I don't like, because everyone wants to see the fight. Everyone wants to see Ilya versus Islam. It's the fight to make. The two best fighters in the world in their prime. Everyone wants to see that fight. Other than that, I mean, Islam, he's just likable, man. He's hilarious. He's a great champ. He's entertaining. He's always willing to go out there and put on a show. And, not every champion is willing to do that. So, you gotta show love and support to those who do. This guy's fucking hilarious, dude. He's one of the funniest fighters in the UFC. I don't think anyone would argue with that. Some people who are fans of him are a bit corny. They do repeat the 2-3 years Dagestan and shit. It gets corny, but this guy's still funny. I don't think him having some corny fans would take away from how funny he is. I don't think anyone would argue that it does. Next we got Michael Chandler. I don't really hate anyone ranked in the lightweight division. Man, if I didn't already say it, I'm only including ranked fighters. Obviously, no fucking unranked 1-0 bums. Nobody gives a fuck. But yeah, Michael Chandler. This guy's just annoying. He keeps calling for higher fights off losses. Waited multiple years for McGregor. Lost a fight and called out McGregor again. You're not getting a McGregor fight. Just suck it up. You're not getting a McGregor fight. You can go fight Paddy Pimblett and lose and get choked out in the second round. My official prediction. Nah, but seriously, Michael Chandler, you're a fucking bum. I don't think anyone would miss you if you retired. I don't think anyone would miss a Michael Chandler retirement tour. And he puts on entertaining fights, don't get me wrong, but they're entertaining losses. He's not winning fights. This guy's a fucking bum. And he talks like he's like part of the big three, part of the big four at lightweight with like Dustin, Charles, Gaethje. But he's lost to all of them. This guy's who's a Michael Chandler fan? I get it, you're a fan of him because he puts on entertaining fights, but who gets excited to hear Michael Chandler call out another person ranked way higher than him off a loss? This guy's trying to call out Armin. Armin pulled out of a title fight. He didn't even lose. He pulled out of a title fight because he got injured, and this guy tried to call out Armin. Who the fuck does he think he is? I hate Michael Chandler. No, hate's a strong word. I don't like Michael Chandler. He's annoying. But I don't really hate anyone in the lightweight rankings. Welterweight, Joaquin Buckley. Conor McGregor! I love Joaquin Buckley, man. I think he's funny. I love watching his YouTube videos. This Joaquin Buckley welterweight run, it's been great to watch. I've loved every second of it. And he's putting on great, entertaining fights, too. I picked him to TKO Colby Covington, even though it was a doctor stoppage. I counted that. That was a successful pick. And honestly, I'd pick him all the way up to beating Bilal. I think he beats Bilal too. I think he could be a champ if he gets the right matchups. But I don't think Bilal will be champ when this guy gets his shot. I'll talk about that in another video. Next, Bilal Muhammad. If you asked me a year ago, I would have said Colby Covington. But it's hard to get myself to care about Colby Covington because he fucking sucks. So it's like, yeah, he's annoying, but he's not. It's not like he's holding up the division at the top spot, like top ranking spots by not fighting and just talking shit. Like he got fucked up by Buckley. I can't really care about him anymore. Bilal Muhammad is the champ. Unfortunately, we live in a reality where Bilal Muhammad is the champion. And I don't mind him as a person. I think he's alright as a person, but he's so fucking boring to watch. And don't get me wrong, this isn't me saying Leon Edwards was, the most entertaining champ. I think he was boring too. But Bilal is just so much worse. And the fight versus Leon was good. Now, it was a decent fight, don't get me wrong. But, that's like 1 in a million for him. The Gilbert fight was boring. Sean Brady fight was okay, I guess. He TKO'd Sean Brady somehow. Sean Brady just fucking sucks, I guess, even though that's his only loss in the UFC. Bilal Muhammad standing TKO makes no sense. This guy's just going out there and putting on fucking stinkers. And he has fans. This guy has an active fan base, and I don't get it. He doesn't put on entertaining fights at all. He just goes out there and blobs them. I think if he tried to incorporate some more striking maybe, or if he was more active on the ground, I could become a fan of this guy because as a person, I think he's funny. I think he's likable. But it just like, I can't get myself to be excited for a Bilal fight unless it's for the person he's fighting. I think JDM's going to knock this guy out. We already saw this. We've seen this guy get knocked out before. It was a long time ago, but I think JDM's a bad matchup for him, and I think JDM will knock him out. Next up, middleweight division. Dricus du Plessis. I was going to put Adesanya. He was my favorite fighter for years. I love Adesanya. He'll always have a dear place in my heart. But, he's losing a few. He's on the way out, so I thought I would give some shine to the newer age of the middleweight division. So I went with Dricus du Plessis. I think this guy's hilarious. He's great on the mic. He's a good champion. He's active. Puts on entertaining fights. He's always going out there trying to engage, and make the fight entertaining, and he's winning too. His resume is already crazy. He's beat Strickland twice. He beat Whitaker. He beat Adesanya. He's beat Darren Till. He beat Brunson. This guy's crazy, and if he beats Hamzat, which honestly I'm picking him to beat Hamzat, and I have been. I think he's a good matchup for Hamzat. I think people see Hamzat sub Whitaker in one because he like broke his jaw or something, and are like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna run through Dricus in one round. Like, he's not. That's not gonna happen. We saw Hamzat go to war, a 3-round war with a middleweight broken knees Usman. I think Dricus is a bad matchup for Hamzat, and I really do think Dricus wins that. Also, I don't think he beat Usman. I think that was a draw. Yeah, Dricus is hilarious. Great champ. Love him. I'll always love Izzy, but it's good to have Dricus instead of bum-ass Sean Strickland. Which brings me to my next spot. Sean Strickland. I fucking hate Sean Strickland. I've always hated Sean Strickland. I think his gimmick is corny. I don't think he's funny at all. I don't know how anyone thinks he's funny. Just, here's the fucking thing, you guys. He's like trying to appeal to the right-wing side of the UFC fan base, and it's so corny. It's not funny at all. He's saying he's going to go out there and go to war and fucking bleed for you guys. And then he jabs and teeps for 5 rounds. Like, nobody's trying to see that. And when this man beat Adesanya, that was probably the worst day of my life, if we're being honest. That was probably the worst day of my life. I don't even want to talk about this guy anymore. Sean Strickland, I don't like him at all. But onto the light heavyweight division. Khalil Roundtree. It was between him and Pereira, but I realized I was rooting for him to beat Pereira. I had to put Roundtree. He's a stand-up guy. He's an entertaining fighter, stand-up guy. Great Muay Thai. Super nice. He doesn't make any excuses for his loss to Pereira. Although the title shot, some would say it was undeserved, which I think is fair, but he went out there and probably had the best performance besides Jan against Pereira. And I say besides Jan, but the Jan fight, pretty sure it was a 3-rounder, and throughout the first 3 rounds, if that fight with Pereira was a 3-rounder, Roundtree would have won. All I'm saying. But I do think Jan did have a better performance. It was a lot closer. Roundtree, he's great, man. I think he knocks out Jamal Hill. Although I don't really dislike Jamal Hill. I think Jamal Hill is definitely overhated. I think a big part of him making excuses and all that is comedy, and it's not. I think it's funny. I think he's a funny guy, but yeah, Roundtree, great fighter, great guy, super entertaining, super nice. Magomed Ankalaev. I don't like this guy. I don't like his Twitter fingers. Although, same with Islam, that might just be Ali Abdelaziz. I don't like Big Ank. I just don't. I can't get myself to like him. He's not super boring, but he just doesn't really have a personality. He has a personality of like a piece of paper. He's not. I don't care about him, and I can't force myself to care about him. And there wasn't really anyone else in the light heavyweight division that I don't like. Maybe Azamat Mirzakhanov. I don't know. Heavyweight division. Hello, John. Tom Aspinall. I fucking love this guy. He's a stand-up man, and he's also probably the scariest fighter we've ever seen. John Jones is ducking him for a reason. We all know he is. John fans are coping, saying he's not ducking, but we all know he's ducking. Tom Aspinall. I love seeing him feed random shit to seagulls, pigeons, whatever the fuck they were. He's super entertaining. The longest a fight in the UFC has lasted with him has been to round 2, which is fucking insane considering he's the interim champion with the defense. He's ran through everyone he's faced besides when he got injured against Curtis Blades, which some people still count that loss against him, which is crazy to me. His only real loss was on the regional scene, where he got submitted way earlier on in his career, and since then he's improved. He's gotten a lot better. And I think he runs through John. A lot of people are saying, man, it's going to be a fucking war. It's going to be a close fight, man. I don't see it. I think he has everything that he needs to just completely dominate John. John's getting up there in age. He's 36? Tom's bigger. He's more athletic. He's faster. Better boxing. His kicking's not better, sure, but he has better takedowns. I think he's the perfect matchup to just completely dominate John. Striking, the wrestling, the grappling, trust. I just combined fucking Bilal and Izzy, but still, I think Aspinall, he's a great guy. I don't really care about a lot of these blob heavyweights, so I went with him. And then get to my least favorite UFC fighter of all time. I fucking hate John Jones. This fucking PED abusing, wife beating, hit and run on a pregnant lady, ducking Tom Aspinall, piece of shit. Had to take PEDs to beat DC. He's a piece of shit for that because DC's a fucking legend, and DC's a better man than John Jones will ever be. I fucking hate John Jones. I don't think he deserves any respect. He'll never be my GOAT, because my GOAT would never have to fucking abuse PEDs throughout his entire career. He robbed Dominic Reyes. Reyes did beat him, and if you say Reyes lost that fight, you're fucking delusional. You're a dick sucker. It's that simple. Reyes 100% beat him 3-2. It was the clearest 3-2 I've ever seen in my life. John Jones is a fucking piece of shit. I hate him. My least favorite fighter of all time. He has the most fraudulent heavyweight run ever, beating Cyril Gane and then Stipe Miocic. He hasn't beaten, and he didn't beat a heavyweight champion to get the belt. He beat Cyril Gane, and then he beat a 40-something-year-old Stipe Miocic off a 3 or 4 year layoff where his last fight was a knockout loss. This guy's a fucking fraud. He's a bum. He can go back to beating up fucking middleweights in the light heavyweight division. I don't like this guy. I don't think he has any redeeming qualities. Sure, he's a good fighter, but he's not my GOAT. GSP's my GOAT. Maybe if John Jones went through his career without abusing PEDs and all that shit, sure, he'd be my GOAT. But I can't call this guy the GOAT after all that cheating he did. But yeah, that was my list. My favorite and least favorite active ranked UFC fighters in every division. I already posted it on my TikTok, but I'm gonna try and get a video of my picks for this card out sometime soon. And yeah, peace.